Hello, art friends. Before we jump into this week's unit, let me ask you a question. Did you know there are only 9 things that you can make art about? You're like, what are you talking about, Sans? I can make art about a million things. Yeah, you can, but there's only 9 subjects that those things would fall under. There's 9 categories. And when you make a piece of art, you're making it about one of these 9. That's crazy talk. What are you talking about, Sans? I don't even understand it. Well, let's take a look and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Did you know for the last 8 weeks, we've been actually going through 8 of these 9 I'm talking about? Remember way back when we did the object? That's one of the 9. The object could be anything. Let's say you paint some cups. Well, cups are an object. Or you could paint a hammer or a screwdriver or your bicycle. All those things fall under the category of the object. And that's the first one of the 9. Here's the second one, architecture. Say you want to draw some buildings in the city or a barn in the country. Maybe you just want to draw your house or a bridge. All those things are designed by architects and they fall under the category of architecture. So that was our second unit, and that is the second one of the 9. Here's the third, landscape. Hey, who doesn't love a great Bob Ross painting? I mean, he spent his whole life painting sticks and bushes. But you know what? Landscape doesn't just have to be mountains and trees in the mountain. It could be trees on the beach, like palm trees. Or it could be a desert with cactus, or it could be on Mars. It doesn't matter. The landscape just has land in it, and that's the landscape. So that's why we use that one as one of the subjects in the 9. Let's keep going. Nature. Nature usually lives in a landscape. So you got a duck who lives in a pond. Or maybe you got a horse and he lives in the field. Or you got a bug. Who doesn't love drawing a nice bug? Or even a seashell from the beach. All those are things that are found in nature. And that's why it's one of the 9. Now, you are one of the 9 because you could paint your own portrait. And that's your face. And it shows facial features. And it's just the top part of your head. It's not your whole body, because that would be the next one, the figure. Now, if you show the whole body, that falls under the next one, the figure. And you can show the whole body straight on, or you can do it like this, where you're showing foreshortening. It looks like the hand's like reaching up, probably just threw that ball and he's about to smack it. And his shoes are real far away, so they're smaller, using foreshortening to capture that figure. We got some more. Imagination. Now, all the ones I talked about before can be incorporated into imagination. Like you could draw a figure in a landscape, in nature, but none of it's real. It's all made up. Like, look at these monsters. It's just out of somebody's imagination. It's not real. I mean, monsters don't exist. Well, except for like Bigfoot and Sasquatch and the abominable snowman and the chupacabra. But other than that, everything is made up as an imagination. Now, that's when you incorporate all the other parts and you use your imagination to change them around. But what if you don't incorporate any of the parts I've talked about? Well, that's non-representational. It doesn't look like anything. It doesn't represent something. So that's all of the 9. Now, you're probably saying, I don't know. I'm still not buying it. Let's test me out. Try it. What do you got? What do you got? What do you want to draw? Your dog? Your dog could be a portrait, or it could be in nature. See how it just like fit it right in there. Give me another one. An airplane? Sure, an airplane's an object. It's up in the sky flying. Maybe it's in the skyscape, and then you're in a landscape. I'm not really quite sure. Try me again. Superman? Superman's a figure. And he could draw him up close. He could be a portrait. Or he could be imagination, because he's not real, I don't think. Anyway, that's how everything falls under the 9. Now, let's talk about this week's assignment, this week's unit, the moment you've been waiting for. Dun, 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 dun. Your objective is to create a work of art that is based on one of the 9. Dramatic pause. Yes, that's right. We want you to demonstrate an understanding of the subject you selected through a work of art. What I'm saying here is I want you to go look at all the 9, pick one, and make a work of art this week that is of the 9. So if you want to paint your bicycle, you're painting an object. If you want to paint your grandmother, you're doing the figure. If you want to draw a bug, you're in nature. Or if you don't want to draw anything, it could be non-representational. You get to pick, you get to choose, create a work of art, an outstanding work of art, and you're going to post it on Friday. All right, that's it. Go make some art.